Welcome back to Minneapolis High School Gymnasium as the boys get set to take on the Ellsworth Bearcats here in the first league game of the season. Bearcats are either 1-2 or 2-1 on the season, not sure which. Lions have a 2 or 3 game winning streak on them, I think.
Wow. That was wrong.
Getting ready for our introductions. We will have the starting lineups here in just a second. I've got the Bearcats. I've already written them down, but Minneapolis Lions will have in just a second. As getting a little crowded over here on our end, Mike. So there's your starting lineup for the Bearcats, and we'll have that in just a second. So Ellsworth coming in as they will start mainly a senior-laden crew, 4 seniors and 1 junior, and that junior is a heck of a ball player in Clint Glazer. But starting out will be number 5, a 5'9" senior, Tanner Rohr. For the Minneapolis Lions, number 3, senior Casey Argenbright for Minneapolis, 5'9" senior. Number 15, 5'11" junior Clint Glazer, and he's one you got to watch, and he hit some big buckets against us last year. And for Minneapolis, number 5, 5'9" junior John Darrow.
He has matured well. Remember the little freshman?
Oh, yeah.
The good little freshman a couple years ago.
Number 20, Logan Gose, a 6'3" senior. And boy, do they have some size for Minneapolis. Number 13, a 6'1" junior, Andrew Yoxel. For the Ellsworth Bearcats, number 32, Evan Shively, a 5'11" junior for the Bearcats. And for Minneapolis, number 15, a 6'2" senior, Grayson George. And for the Ellsworth Bearcats, Levi Freeze, a 6'7" senior. And for the Minneapolis Lions, number 33, 6'3" senior, Dylan Crossan. So the Lions and the Bearcats getting ready to do battle here, and they will have some size to contend with. We will have some size to contend with.
Last year, size didn't really bother us most of the time, so we'll have to see how we deal with it this season.
Yep.
Freeze was effective here and there, but Shively came in and skinned us fairly decent because we were kind of watching Glazer, but the first game, Clint Glazer, as Scott mentioned, just torched us for about 32. He can fill it up.
Yeah, he can. Minneapolis in their home white, Ellsworth Bearcats in their black, and we are amongst Ellsworth fans over here. So it will get fairly loud. Minneapolis has a good crowd. Ellsworth has a good crowd. And Minneapolis Lions and the Ellsworth Bearcats getting ready to do battle. And I'll tell you right now, at halftime, guys, I'm watching my daughter dance. So coming up, tip is up, and it will go into the hands of Dylan Crossan. Back to Casey Argenbright. Casey Argenbright on the outside at the top of the key. Rolls down the left-hand side. Man pressure. Gets it back to Grayson George. Into Dylan Crossan. Grayson from the free throw line. Up and over. No good. Rebounded by Freeze. Up in the hands of Glazer. Glazer will bring it down. Gets it down low, and it's going to be off of Black. Thrown out of bounds. It'll be a turnover against the Bearcats. It'll go back to Minneapolis. Casey Argenbright back to Darrow. Darrow on the outside, goes back to Argenbright. Casey, nice screen set by Crossan. Picked up, back to George on the outside. Grayson guarded tightly there. Into Yoxel. Yoxel fronts his man, back to Grayson. Into Crossan. Gets his man up in the air, up and good. Nice job by Dylan Crossan. Takes it right to the big guy, and the big guy doesn't jump. And Crossan takes it right over top of him. Nice job, Dylan Crossan. And off the hands of Crossan, it'll stay with the Bearcats. Good defense by the Lions.
You know, it's nice to see Dylan to get that first one down against that 6'7" imposing player right behind you.
So ball will be inbounds to Freeze. Freeze back to Glazer. Glazer back to top into the hands of Rohr. And another turnover, this time again thrown by Shively. That's his second one he's thrown with the turnover.
2-0 Minneapolis. George with the ball. Nice pick by Yoxel. Long
Pointer
ball.
by nice job by Grayson George with a nice three from the right-hand corner. 5-0 Lions with the lead. Glazer will be picked up at the top. Oh, wow, nice job by Andrew Yoxel as he steps in as that was on
Shively.
Shively lowers the shoulder. And that'll be a foul on Shively. Turn the ball over back to the Lions.
He was definitely set.
Andrew does a good job. You know, Andrew Yoxel and Dylan Crossan have both bulked up over the summer. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but nice lead. Oh, great rebound by Crossan. And it's swatted away, but Casey Argenbright gets it back. And he's going to be fouled by Freeze. Nice job by Casey Argenbright. Takes it right in the big guy. Freeze swatted it out pretty good against Crossan this time. But
let's keep taking it to him. He might get some blocks, but let's get some fouls on him.
Casey takes it right in this time.
Freeze picks up his first personal foul. That's exactly what we want. Get him in foul trouble and sitting on the bench.
Shot up and goodbye, senior Casey Argenbright. Second shot coming by Argenbright. Shot is up and good. Makes them both. 7-0 Lions in the lead. Freeze the inbounds. Gets it in the hands of Rohr. Rohr guarded by Darrow. Double pressure picked up. And on the outside goes to Shively back to Freeze. For three. Glazer in and out. Rebounded by Crossan. Back to Argenbright. Minneapolis has numbers. Argenbright back in the corner to Grayson George. Shot up and good by Grayson in the lane. And Ellsworth's going to call a 30-second timeout. Minneapolis starts out on a 9-0 run here to start this ball game at 5:50 left to go in the first quarter. Nice start by the Minneapolis Lions.
Boy, they come out with some intensity. You like to see that. A 9-0 run, and Ellsworth, of course, Glazer had that ball go in and out over here, but Minneapolis looking strong here to start the game.
Absolutely. Minneapolis with the quick 9-0 lead as the Lions did a nice job of pushing the ball up the floor. Grayson George with 5 points. Is that what you got Grayson with, Mike?
Sorry?
Yeah, 5 points by Grayson
Yep.
George. Nice start by the Lions.
Grayson, the 8th leading scorer on Minneapolis school list.
Moving up the ladder quick, isn't he?
Rohr back to
Catch up with
Glazer.
Mike Wheeler and Jake Laws.
Glazer guarded by Argenbright. Picks it nicely, and ball tipped out of bounds off the lines. Nice catch over there on the sidelines.
Good hands, reach in to tap that ball out of there.
Glazer on the outside. Gets it back to Freeze. Freeze will drive in. Picks up his dribble. Shot in the lane, up and good by Logan Ghost, 6'3" senior for the Bearcats.
He's got a nice mid-range jumper.
Darrow on the outside, goes down low to Crossan. Back to Darrow. Nice inlet pass into Crossan off the glass, no good. Yoxel with the rebound, can't get it, and rebounded by the Bearcats. Glazer on the outside, he'll stop and take a three, and it's good. Knew that one had left his hand and looked good for him up here. 9-5, so the Bearcats get quick 5 points. Bringing it right back in the ballgame, 9-5. They go down low to Yoxel. And the turnover by the Lions.
I was surprised there wasn't a double dribble call there. The traveling game.
Macy Doherty and
Allison
Zach
check in.
Allison check in.
And for the Bearcats, number 12, Josh Rankin, another senior, checks in for the Bearcats.
And Minneapolis has tightened up the defense just a
Rankin
little bit.
for three, in and out. Oh, how did they let that one get by? Nice hustle by Minneapolis. Kyler Macy does a great job getting in there, as well as Clint Glazer. Both guys go down on the floor, and they got the tie up. Nice job by both Glazer and Macy.
Possession arrow to the Bearcats.
Macy going to get called with push foul.
Kyler's first.
First team foul for the Lions. Glazer on the outside. They leave him open for a quick second. And Levi Freeze gets the rebound, and he will go to the line to shoot two. I believe Zach Allison will be called with a foul, and it is his first personal.
Push in the back.
First shot by Freeze. Nice touch by the 6'7" senior.
Big guy's got a free throw top.
Wow, you don't see that very often.
No. Clank.
Second shot coming is up, and it's good. Makes them both. Nice touch there by.
Form.
And they will get in for a breather. Brent Keener, 6'4" senior, comes in.
All of a sudden,
wow.
it's 9-7, guys.
They've got a bunch of seniors on this team, guys.
Yes, they do.
Garrett Doherty in the glass. Nice job, Garrett Doherty. Takes it right in, takes it off the glass. 11-7 Lions with the lead. Ball goes on the outside, gets it into, shot in the lane, rebounded by Allison. Back to Garrett Doherty. Doherty on the outside. Drive up and no good, rebounded by the Bearcats. Watson back on the outside to Ghost. 3-point shot up, no good, rebounded by Doherty. Doherty will bring it down. Derek needs to watch that he doesn't get a carry, and it's off the mark. Ghost with the rebound. Back in the hands of Rankin. Rankin with the ball. Rankin on the outside. Nice inlet pass. Picked up by Garrett Doherty. Back to Andrew Yoxel.
Glazer looks gassed.
Grayson George on the outside, and they're going to get Zach Allison with the foul. So,
same kind of call he called on Kelsey Page in the first half. That does that forearm
That's his
shiver,
favorite.
basically.
Forearm shiver.
11-7, 2:56 left to go in the first quarter. Glazer on the outside, gets it back to Ghost. Ghost back in the hands of Keener. Keener back to Glazer. Glazer swing pass on the outside, 3-point shot, up and good by number 30, Jacob Freeze. And froze on
11-10.
Casey Argenbright drives it all the way in on the bigs and gets it. Nice job, Casey Argenbright. Ellsworth Bearcats on the outside is Rankin. Rankin guarded by Macy. A little push off. No call. Back to top to Froze. Oh, nice inlet pass to Ghost. There we go.
Ellsworth coach doesn't like that call.
They didn't like that at all.
Looked like a foul to me. I'm not prejudiced.
Ball back in the hands of Casey Argenbright. He swings around the right-hand side. They give him the lane once again. He takes it all the way in and drives. Nice job.
Boy, he sees an opening. You best close it down quick. Casey's quick to the rack.
Minute 56 left to go in the first quarter. Casey Argenbright called with the foul. And that is his first personal.
I would have called it on Doherty myself.
John Michael checks back in. John Darrow checks back in for Kyler Macy. So on the floor, Zach Allison, Crossan, Doherty, Darrow, and Argenbright. Froze to inbounds it, gets it in the hands of Shively. Shively on the outside, guarded by Argenbright. Gets it back to the top of Froze. 3-point shot. Off the mark, rebounded by Argenbright. Casey will bring it down and set it up. Gets it back to Doherty. And a turnover Goes back to the Bearcats.
Well, it's fast-paced.
It is on both sides.
Minute 14 left.
That's going to be 3 on Zach Allison. And that's a tough one as Zach's going to get his 3rd personal. And
that guy gets the basket also.
And Freeze will go to the line to shoot 2.
Nope, just 1.
Oh, just 1. Did he make the bucket?
Yeah,
Yes.
he made the basket.
Oh, I'll be darned. And he makes the free throw.
Pretty good free throw shooter.
Yeah. Garrett Doherty checks out. Grayson George checks back in. Minneapolis will have to run the numbers in and out, but Ellsworth has been doing the same. Our conditioning, I hope, will pay off in the end. 15-13 Lions with the 2-point lead. They're on the outside. Swing pass over to Argenbright. Back to Grayson. Back to Argenbright. Takes the 3. Makes it. Nice job, Casey Argenbright. Wow. Casey's having a nice night to start this first quarter.
Casey with the hot hand here, that's for sure.
Ball goes in the hands of Shively. Shively gets it back. Swing pass. Great job by Yoxel as he gets the steal into the hands of.
Excellent job by Andrew. Good help defense, and now Minneapolis going to look for that last shot.
Grayson George on the outside. They will set it up.
25 seconds.
Going to give him the room. There they come out on him. Get the pass over to Crossan. Back to George. Back to Argenbright. They'll set this up with 11 seconds left. Now they'll run their offense. Back to Grayson for 3 at the top of the key. Drains it. Nice job, Grayson George. How do you like to set that one up?
I like that play.
And that one was nice. Nice job by the Minneapolis to set that one up. As Casey drives in, Grayson steps in and hits it from the top of the key, hits the 3. 21-13 at the end of 1. We will take a break. You're listening to 910canada.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8.
CNR Plating and Kevin's crew would like to take this time to thank their many friends and customers for making their business what it is today. CNR Plating, a Lions sports backer, wants to wish the Minneapolis Lions a great season. CNR Plating, a Lions sports backer.
The State Bank of Delphus and Glasgow and the Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis are locally owned community banks committed to making your banking experience as easy and personal as possible. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Brown Mackie College Salina is proud to support our regional high school sports. Join us this year in cheering on the Minneapolis Lions, the Solomon Gorillas, and the Ellsworth Bearcats.
City Pharmacy has brought you quality professional pharmaceuticals since 1963. Joe and Amber Wool will help you with your medications, durable medical equipment, cosmetics, gifts, and greeting cards. Your hometown pharmacy, City Pharmacy in downtown Minneapolis.
Welcome back to Minneapolis. Guys, I'm going to get it plugged in really quick. I'm going to bug out of here at the start of the halftime because my daughter gets to dance. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
Cool.
Casey Argenbright will set this up for the Lions to start the second quarter. Argenbright on the right-hand side gets it back to Darrow. Darrow back to Grayson George. Gets it into Yoxel, back to Argenbright. Casey drives. Takes a shot up and good. Casey having a great night. 11 points for Casey to start this ball game. Nice job by Casey. 23-13, Lions in the lead. Ball on the outside.
Plus he's doing a pretty good job on Glazer too.
And off of Minneapolis, it'll stay with the Bearcats as ball's tipped out of bounds off of Crossan. On the floor is Argenbright, George, Darrow, Crossan, and Yoxel. Oh, nice ball movement by Ellsworth there as Tanner Rohr gets wide open underneath the bucket. Somebody missing an assignment there. And Rohr will go to call before.
He waited too long to pull the trigger on that.
I thought he was shooting. They called it on the floor. I thought he was shooting.
That was before the shot.
Ball goes back in the hands of Glazer. Glazer guarded by Argenbright and George. Swings his pass backward to Shiley, backward to Rohr. Rohr on the outside. He will drive down. Shot up. Back in the hands of Darrow as he gets the rebound. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to Darrow. Darrow back to Yoxel. Oh, nice pass down to Crossan. Oh, can't finish it. Gets his own rebound, and he gets the bucket. Nice job by Crossan. Had the great pass by Yoxel.
42.
And
Freeze gets his second foul.
he had a great pass by Yoxel. Couldn't get the initial pass, went over the 6'7", but then misses it, gets his own rebound, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line for an and one. Shot is up, and it's off the mark. And it's going to be rebounded by Minneapolis. Darrow back to George. Swing pass over to Argenbright. It wasn't on, they call it that foul on Roar.
Yeah, I got the wrong. I'm going to have to switch that. I sure thought it was on the big guy.
Yep. Ball goes back to Grayson. Grayson at the top of the key. Back to Argenbright. Casey drives in, gets it back to Yoxel. Yoxel gets his man up, back to Darrow. Darrow back to Yoxel. He will drive in. Shot upping off the glass. Nice job by Andrew Yoxel. Great shot off the glass. 27-13. Yoxel and Dylan Crossan have just improved their game so much from last year. And the turnover right there.
Excellent defense.
I never give Andrew any style points, but he is very effective.
He is. You know, I'll tell you though, both Andrew Yoxel and Dylan Crossan have both not only
They're
spent some
solid.
time in the weight room this summer. You can tell they solid up. They've improved their game. Nice job by both Crossan and Yoxel. Got a nice inside-out game going on now, which we didn't have a lot as much last year. Oh, we did with Keegan, but not with Yoxel and Crossan as much. But they've done a great job this year. Back on the outside, three-point shot up by Bearcats, no good, and rebounded by Freeze, and he gets the bucket on the inside. Argenbright gets his man up in the air, gets it back to Darrow. Into Crossan, and he gets it. Nice job, Dylan Crossan, taking it right to the big. And
Well,
he
he's
gets the
tough
bucket.
down low. He plays more like he's 6'5" than 6'3".
He's doing an excellent job tonight. 29-15, Lions with the lead. Blazer on the outside. And it's going to be blocked out of bounds off of Minneapolis. It'll stay with the Bearcats.
Boy, that cat's big too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Brent Keener, 6'4", but he's a solid 6'4".
Yeah.
So you don't definitely slack anything with 6'4". So. And we get a turnover there as they call the
Shively.
travel on
Shuffle
Shively.
to feet. Doherty back in for Minneapolis. Darrow, George, Yoxel, and Argenbright. Casey with a big first quarter, right, Scott?
Luckily that was kicked, or that would have been a turnover. He'll stay with the Lions. 4:55, 29-15 Lions with the lead. Got to get it in, top of the key, it goes to Argenbright.
That was close.
Back to the top over to Darrow. Darrow from the free throw line, up and off the mark, rebounded by Ghost. Ghost with the rebound, gets it back in the hands of Blazer. Blazer on the outside, guarded by Argenbright. Blazer drives, and we'll have a push foul on Minneapolis there. And that'll be number 7. So foul was on Yoxel. That will send Blazer to the line for a 1-on-1. This is a kid that probably hardly ever misses from the free throw line.
Kyler Macy in for Argenbright.
Thank you, Dale. Shot is up and good. 29-16, 4:32 left to go.
Macy will get the task of guarding Blazer.
And he makes the second one. Ball goes on the outside to Macy. Macy looks down low to Yoxel. Yoxel takes his man on the inside, and they're going to call him with a travel. Made the bucket, but he spun and got the turnover. Rankin will check in for number 32, Shively, for the Bearcats. Ball goes back to Glazer. Glazer will bring it down to set it up for the Bearcats. A little bit of pressure by Macy.
There's the forearm shiver.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Thank you, Dale.
Yeah. They a little one there. This time they get the push off.
You know, I kind of bag on the referees here and there, but they have been very consistent all the way through the evening girls and boys contest.
It's both sides of the ball.
Yep, just pretty even. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to do it.
And a turnover by the Lions right there. Oh, go into the hands. Oh, almost stolen by Yoxel. And the big guy puts it in as Keener puts it in. Doherty stepped in to take the charge, but Keener had plenty of room to come down. So. Back to Darrow for three. It's off. Ooh, I thought it was off, but he nails it. Nice job by Darrow as he hits the three.
Nice shot.
Glazer shot up and good as he hits the little runner. Doherty will bring it down to set it up. Takes another three, and that one's good. Wow, John Michael this time hits from NBA range, and he hits a big three from the outside.
I would have to say he's feeling it, Scott. Two big bombs in a row.
And a turnover right there will go back to the Lions.
Glazer trying to do a little bit too much, and there's no one there for the dump down pass. Crossing back in, Yoxel gets a breather, and we have a 14-point lead.
Doherty will bring it down to set it up for the Lions. Grayson back to John Michael. Back to Macy. Macy back over to Grayson. George on the outside. Into Crossan. Up and no good. Rebounded by the Bearcats. Back to Glazer. Glazer will bring it down. He'll take a three. And he hits it. Wow, big shot by Glazer. He can hit from all over the place.
Way out there, wasn't it?
So good hands there by Josh Rankin as he tips that one out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lions, but good hands by Rankin. Ball goes back to Doherty to set this one up with 2:27 in the half. 35 to 24. Back to Grayson George. Back on the outside to Crossan. Crossan back to Macy. Back to George for three. And in and out. Crossan nearly had the rebound. And it comes away in the hands of the Bearcats.
George, a little tough luck shooting there. That one was in and out.
There's a three by the Bearcats, off the mark. And good hustle by Minneapolis. They tie up. It will stay with the Bearcats. But good hustle by both the Bearcats and the Lions. Numerous players going to the floor on that one.
That ball would not quit rolling.
Casey Argenbright will check in for Garrett Doherty. Also checking in is number 32, Shively, for the Bearcats. And Levi Freeze checks in. So they get some of their big players back in. They will get it in the hands of Rankin. Rankin swing pass on the outside to Froze. Shot on the inside lane is up and good by Goetz. 35 to 26. Lions with a 9-point lead. Back in the hands of into Crossan. Crossan in the lane, shot up and good. In and out. Gets it to fall, does not get it to fall. Bearcats with the ball on the outside has a chance to cut it even closer. And there's a charge right there. And that one's on Logan Ghost. And Bearcat fans not happy about that one. Casey Argenbright.
But he's good at that.
Casey is very good at that.
Our players are well schooled in how to
draw the charge.
a charge.
We're guaranteed
How to
2
work
of
on
those
the
a
Oscar.
game, and we've got them both in the first half. Same guy.
Casey back to Grayson George on the outside, back to Crossan. Crossan with the ball, back at the top of the key, goes Yoxel back to Argenbright. Argenbright swing over to Crossan, back to George, back to Crossan, back to Yoxel, excuse me. Nice cut. Yoxel drives, gets it back to Argenbright to set it up. Back on the outside to Darrow. Tight defense, man defense by the Bearcats.
We're running clock.
What the heck was that?
Foul number 2.
So
What that was?
on freeze, and that will, I'm not sure
Kind of a funny
why,
foul.
that will send Crossan to the line to shoot a 1-on-1.
No, Minneapolis was running the clock. We were definitely looking for the last shot of the half, but Freeze jumps out way out there and fouls.
And Crossan makes it. Nice job, Dylan Crossan. That's one way to silence him a little bit as he hits the bucket right there. Second one coming. Shot is up and can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Ghost. We could sure use a steal or a turnover right here. Shively with the ball. It's back to Freeze. Back on the outside. Back to Shively. Swing pass on the outside to Rankin. Oh, great job by Crossan, and the foul right there. Nice job, Dylan Crossan, as he
Frustration foul on number 20.
He gets hammered pretty good down there on both sides.
That's Ghost's 3rd foul. Boy, Dylan's strong in there with the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he makes the first one. Nice job, Dylan Crossan. 17.7 seconds left, 37-26. Second one is on its way. And it's off the mark as well. Ball goes to timeout call by the Bearcats to set this one up with 12.7 seconds left. They're going to try to draw up a play. So we will go ahead and take a quick break with them. 12.7 seconds in the first half, 37-26, Minneapolis with the lead.
At Robertson Monument, they believe that supporting community activities is very important. That's why they're sponsors of Lion Sports. Minneapolis is a great town to live in, and Robertson Monument hopes you make it to as many games as possible.
Santa Fe Carpet is a proud supporter of the Minneapolis Lions. In conjunction with new carpet prices starting at $1.50, Santa Fe Carpet also carries quick-step wood laminates, vinyl flooring, tile, even home decor. Salina's bottom line carpet price is at Santa Fe Carpet, 4 blocks south of St. John's Military School.
Welcome back to Minneapolis. Bearcats will set it up here as Glazer checks back in. It's one you got to watch from anywhere. And oh, they leave him open for the 3, and he hits it. That's one you just got to watch. Minneapolis does not get the shot off. Minneapolis takes the 8-point lead into the half as the Minneapolis Lions had the lead by 8, 37-29. We'll be back with some stats and some dancing.
A car accident.
Insurance in Minneapolis, help.
Scott, who do we have on the floor here? Oh, he's off the headset, isn't he?
Nice job.
Pretty dang excited about that because I was pretty excited about that.
Well, Scott, can you tell us who those 3 ballerinas were?
Well, I can tell you that I can tell you 2 of them. 2 of them, one of them being my daughter that's in 7th grade. The other 2 are freshmen. One of them, Brubaker, and the other one I cannot tell you. But one of them being my daughter, Mariah, and pretty excited, pretty pumped up here from a dad's standpoint. And she did a great job. And Shayna Brubaker, I believe, and the other freshman I do not know. And I was afraid you're going to ask me that, and I should have asked my daughter beforehand. And
That's all right.
just couldn't tell you. And then the high school dance team did the dancing after that. So
Well, we'll
Scoring totals for the first half. Ellsworth Bearcats. Glazer got hot late in the second quarter, and we left him open at the buzzer to get that last 3. Logan Gose had 4, but he's also carrying 3 personal fouls with him. Brent Keener has 2. Levi Freeze, the 7-footer, has 7. 6'7", excuse me, not 7 foot. And Jacob Froze has 3 for 29 points for the Ellsworth Bearcats. For Minneapolis, Casey Argenbright with a big first half leads Minneapolis in scoring with 11. John Michael Darrow from way outside hit 2 bombs for 6 points. Andrew Yoxel had 2. Grayson George had 8. Garrett Doherty with 2. And down low in the paint, Dylan Crossan had 8, which rounds out the scoring for Minneapolis, 37 points. And an 8-point lead. And we'll be back with second half tip-off. Second half action. We won't have the tip-off. Minneapolis and Ellsworth.
folks, it was a very good Christmas program at the grade school last night. For those of you that were there, it was nice to enjoy. And our own Scott Oshman was a participant. But Scott, I must tell you, I was kind of disappointed in your ability to guess prices on the Price is Right. Oh, Scott didn't hear. It was called a Game Show Christmas, and they had several participants in The Price is Right, Family Feud, and Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Sorry about that, guys. As Minneapolis ready to start the second half here.
I was just trying to give you some plugs about your participation last night in the grade school program. You weren't here, Scott.
The Price is Right. I'm a loser. I didn't win anything. Ball goes into Yoxel. Yoxel on the outside, drives in, kicks it on the outside to Grayson. Grayson will drive, guarded by Glazer. Back to Darrow. Tight defense. Look down low to Yoxel. He takes it in, has it tipped away. Glazer comes away with it.
Almost turned it over. Looked like he double dribbled coming up the court there.
Glazer on the outside. And there it's stolen by Casey Argenbright as he gets the steal. Come the other direction, up and good. Nice job by Argenbright as he gets the steal.
Nice body control. Casey gets all the way to the rim for the layup.
And another turnover there, this time picked up easily by Yoxel. Back to top of the key to Darrow. Darrow back to Yoxel from the free throw line.
He
up
can
and
make
good.
that
He
shot.
Can. Nice job by Andrew Yoxel from the free throw line. And another turnover right there. Gets in the hands of Crossan. Back to Argenbright. Back to Darrow, up and no good. Can't get it to fall. Didn't use the glass, and then the foul on Yoxel.
My pet peeve there, guys.
I said that one for you.
I know, you said it for me.
Mine too. He had the angle to take and use the glass.
Glazer on the outside, takes it, Full court press picked up by the Lions. Back to Freeze. Back to Glazer. Glazer breaks the press. And there's a carry, yep. So their coach wanting to foul is Haxton, Kevin Haxton. That name, is he in relation to?
I don't know if he's related to Pat or not.
So
I don't think he's near big enough.
Crossing back to Darrow. Darrow from the free throw line, back to Argenbright. Casey will drive, back to Yoxel. Yoxel in the lane, shot up and good. Nice job,
he's got
Andrew
a nice
Yoxel.
One-hand runner.
Little runner in the lane. And nice drive by Roars. He takes it all the way down, up and into the hands of Ghost, and Ghost gets the bucket.
43-31, Minneapolis.
Into Crossan in the lane, and up and good. Nice job by Crossan. Takes it right to the big guy, and he gets it to fall.
Nice arch.
Glazer back in the hands of Shively.
And I think that one was off the glass.
And fouls gonna be on Crossan. What was that, Dale?
I think that one was off the glass too, wasn't it?
Yep. Zach Allison checking in, as well as Garrett Doherty, as Argenbright, and as well as Yoxel check out. Glazer is so quick to the hole. He finds the smallest little hole and drives right in there and gets the bucket.
You cannot let him go. You got to stay with him.
They're on the outside, back to George for three, and it's good. Nice job, Grayson George, as he hits the three from the outside.
Downtown.
Roar, back to Glazer. Glazer drives. Shot off the mark. Oh, inside rebound by Ghost. Gets position. And
mental mistake there. We're over the line when we threw it in.
Kyler Mason checks in for Crossan.
Going with the small lineup here.
And Roar gets the inside bucket for the Bearcats. Doherty with the ball. 4:47 left to go. 9-point lead for the Lions, 48-37. We're up by 13, and they've brought it back in close. Ball back to top key to Macy. Macy out on, back to George. George guarded by Glazer. Glazer back to Doherty and up, and can't get it, but he'll get fouled. And he'll go to the line.
Interesting note, Dale. Grayson George shoots the ball right-handed, throws the football right-handed, but his penmanship is left-handed.
Oh, really?
He writes left-handed.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I didn't either. He says, I screwed everything up, didn't I? He writes left-handed.
Third foul called on Freeze right there. And Doherty makes the first one.
Very ambidextrous person then, huh? He could be a nice change-up pitcher.
Well, I've tried to Levi, it doesn't really matter. Levi writes right-handed, throws right-handed, bats left-handed.
Good job. Grayson jumps right in front of Ghost, and it goes off Ghost's hand. Minneapolis will play it in.
Occasionally you've got kids like that. Nice job by the line defense. Into Grayson George for three, and he makes it. Wow. Right over Glazer. And that's a dagger in Glazer as he hits the big three. 52-37, Lions get it back up to a 15-point lead. And the turner right there picked up by Zach Allison.
Hold the pivot.
Yep.
And that's just a little inexperience with Zach. He'll straighten that out. More playing time, more minutes he gets.
Yep. Casey Argenbright will check back in for the Lions, as he'll check in for Darrow. So on the floor is Macy, Argenbright, Doherty, Allison, and George. Gets the ball into the hands of, after the rebound, back to Minneapolis. Kyler Macy from the right-hand side, up, no good. Rebounded by the Bearcats. Back to Glazer. Glazer drives down from the free throw line, off balance. It's going to go out of bounds. Go back to the line.
Air ball.
You think they'll let him have the air ball thing, Dale? They aren't going to give him a chance. They're going to put him on the bench. Usually that's a sign they're a little tired when they come up that short. Glazer normally a lot closer to the net with his shots.
Pretty good player.
Yep, extremely good player. Doherty on the outside, swings around back to Macy, into Yoxel. Yoxel in the lane, shot up and off the mark, and rebounded by Rankin. Rankin, then stolen by Doherty. Nice job by Garrett Doherty with the steal and the finish. And then a steal by Macy. He takes it in and he gets it. Nice job, Kyler Macy. 2 quick turnovers and 2 quick buckets. Nice job, Minneapolis Lions, as they do a great job with some 2 nifty defensive plays by Garrett Doherty and Kyler Macy. And folks, if you're going to watch this on tape, that's an exciting one right there.
That's great.
19-point lead.
That's good stuff.
Nice job by the Lions right there as they get the steal. 2 steals in a row, one by Garrett Doherty and one by Kyler Macy. And the Lions had the lead, 56-37. It was a 9-point ball game. 10-0 run right here.
Doherty, with no hesitation, gets all the way to the rack, and then Macy with the quick hands, and all of a sudden, Minneapolis, 19-point lead, 3:16 left, third quarter.
Where do you go when you need groceries? Jeans IGA, of course. Jeans is proud to be a sponsor of Minneapolis sports and hopes that you'll encourage your children to be as competitive in the classroom as they are in sports. Jeans IGA, a proud sponsor of today's game. Bennett Autoplex supports the Minneapolis Lions. At Bennett Autoplex Salina, you'll find a small-town family atmosphere with great prices on new and used cars, new GMC trucks and SUVs. Serving their customers since 1957, Bennett Autoplex Salina.
Welcome back to Minneapolis as the Bearcats have the ball, as they get a little swing pass on the outside. Gets it into Rankin. Good cans by Argenbright, and Casey goes hustling after that one. Nice job by Casey Argenbright as nearly gets the loose ball diving on the floor.
Casey, he can get up in the air. He does a good job rebounding down there.
And the foul.
And the foul.
By Casey Argenbright.
Real aggressive. I think Coach Shoup says, don't let off, boys. Let's keep the foot on the pedal.
Ellsworth inbounds. Ball into the hands of Rohr. Rohr guarded by Macy. Back in the hands of Shively. Shively back to Froze. Froze on the outside, guarded by Yoxel. And back goes to Rohr. Rohr on the outside, pulls it back up. Swing pass over to Froze. Froze, a very quick, agile player right there, but a nice rebound by Argenbright. And then great transition by Garrett Doherty, and there's going to be a charge. Yep. So
Ellsworth is not only a league school contestant against us, but they are in our sub-state.
Now, what was that, Dale?
I said Ellsworth not only is a league competitor, but they are in our sub-state.
They are in our sub-state. Wow. So full court press picked up by the Lions. Freeze back over in the corner, goes to number 32, Shively. Shively back in the hands of Rohr. Back to Shively. Shively guarded by Doherty. Back to Froze, back to Glazer. Glazer on the outside. 2:21 left, 2:21 left in the third quarter. 19-point lead for the Lions. Shot by, and there's going to be a foul by number 30, Froze, as he goes over the back of Yoxel. Their second team foul, and that's another air ball put up by Glazer. And you said it earlier, Glazer looked like he was winded.
He's gassed, yeah. He's pressing a little bit here, but when you come up short on your shots, it's usually you're tired, and I think you're right, Scott. He just didn't look like he felt good or just tired.
Grayson George back to Doherty. Doherty on the outside, looks down low. He'll drive all the way in, kick it back out to Grayson for three. And he drains it. Another three by Grayson George. Another one over the hands of Glazer.
Boy, they give him some space, and Grayson, 3 in a row from right over there.
Garrett Doherty going to be called with the foul. Shively had the ball.
Good grief, Dale, 22-point lead.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. We were.
Been a big quarter for us.
Yeah.
Big quarter.
Nice job, Kyler Macy, as he gets a breather as Darrow checks back in. Glazer on the outside, rolls around, picks up his dribble, gets it back to Rohr. Rohr guarded by Darrow. They get a double team up top. They get it back to Glazer. Another double team down low, and a steal by Garrett Doherty as he will take it all the way in. And he is fouled hard. Nice job by Garrett Doherty to get the steal and take it all the way in. Garrett is so quick with his hands, and then he's got that long stride.
Boy, the overplay down here. I thought he was going to get all the way to the basket. Ellsworth came to get him and fouled him kind of hard, I thought. He'll shoot 2.
And he makes the first one. Nice job by the senior Garrett Doherty. Second one is off the mark, rebounded by the Bearcats, but nearly stolen again by the Lions. And the turnover will go back the other direction.
Yeah, he stayed after him, 3/4 court back here, and kind of helps Ellsworth the pressure there, and they throw it away.
And a player control charge going to be called on Garrett Doherty. That's about his third. So Garrett will check out. Kyler Mason will come in.
I'll put the X in the book, but I don't have to agree with it.
Yep. Nope, I agree with you. And the steal right there, Grayson George. And oh, nice hands by Ghost as he comes out, as he gets the quickness to come down and nearly comes away with one right there.
2 times down the court, Minneapolis has the thievery. And we go in for layups. Ellsworth gets back to knock that ball away, but we'll play it in. 58 seconds.
Cunningham, a junior, gets his first playing time, checks in for the Bearcats. Grayson George back out, Kyler Macy back to Darrow. Darrow into Yoxel, back to Darrow. Yoxel back to Argenbright. Casey gets it to Grayson, back to Darrow, up and can't get it, but Yoxel gets it, and he will be fouled, and that's going to be 4 on Freeze.
He was mugged.
Mugged hard, and let's see for sure who they give it to, but it better be the big guy.
What a big rebound by
That's
Andrew
4
Yoxel.
on the big guy. Yoxel at the line, shoot 2 here. And he makes the first. Nice job, Andrew Yoxel. And the big guy will sit down as Logan Ghost, 6'3", checks out. I say big guy, 6'7", then they turn around and put a 6'3" in. So
I'd say the big guy is an apt definition.
second one is up and good by Yoxel. And Crossan will check in for Yoxel. Nice game by Andrew Yoxel. Great third quarter by the junior. Glazer with the ball. Gets it back over to Rohr. Rohr back to Glazer. They break the press nicely. And foul's called on Casey Argenbright. And that'll be a 1-on-1. Should put them to the line for a 1-on-1. So
Casey's third personal foul, and as Scott mentioned, they'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Glazer fairly decent from the free throw line. We'll get a 1-on-1 here.
14 fouls on the Bearcats.
first shot is up and good. That's their first points in quite some time. So Minneapolis had about a 15-point run going on.
Only the 9th point in the quarter for Ellsworth. Yeah, you're right.
Yoxel didn't sit long. Back in.
Yoxel, Crossan, George, Darrow, and Macy on the floor. Misses the second one, rebounded by Grayson George. Grayson will bring it down to the lines. Crosses the timeline to set it up on the left-hand side. Back to Darrow, rolls around to the right, back or to Crossan, back to George, back to Darrow. 19 seconds left. Minneapolis will try to work for the last second shot. Back to Yoxel, back to Darrow. 13 seconds, back to George. Gets to the top of the key, back order. Gets it inside, gets it to Grayson George, and gets the turnaround in the lane.
What
nice
body
shot.
control.
Oh my goodness. That ends the quarter, and what a quarter it is. 64
That was a complete 180.
to 38. Wow, I'm going to let you run some stats here in a second, but wow, what a quarter by the Lions. Minneapolis takes the lead, 64 to 38. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors.
It's fast, it's furious, and it's fun. It's Minneapolis Raceway. Minneapolis Raceway has brought you exciting races to Central Kansas and will continue the tradition. Minneapolis Raceway will give you and your family some of the most exciting races ever seen. Go Lions!
At Lambert Insurance, Sue Clanton can make shopping for insurance easy. With insurance plans changing all the time and costs increasing constantly, getting coverage you need at affordable rates can be a challenge. Let Lambert Insurance in Minneapolis help.
Welcome back to Minneapolis, Kansas. 64 to 38 at the end of the third quarter, and what a third quarter it was, Mike.
Well, we outscored them 27-9 in that quarter. Grayson George alone had 11. Hot hand and good balance scoring, but Grayson George seeing the basket real well here tonight.
Quite a decisive quarter.
5 3-pointers on the night for Grayson George.
Woo. Only got 4 more to go to Ty Ryan.
Well, we have time.
Used to be a day 5 3-pointers. That was
we have time.
So ball would go in the hands of Glazer. Glazer will be guarded by Macy as we start the fourth quarter. Glazer picks up the ball and gets it back over to Rohr. Rohr has it back to Glazer. Glazer back over in the hands of Froze. And we got a foul on the Lions.
Over the back, Dillon.
So that'll send number 33, Brent Keener, I believe, to the line for a one-on-one.
8th team foul.
Zach Allison will check in for Crossan. Shot coming by Keener. Shot is up and off the mark. Rebounded by Yoxel. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to Darrow. Back to Grayson for 3. And it's off the mark. It's the first shot I've seen him miss in a while.
With the front rim.
Ball goes to Glazer. Glazer. Oh, great block by Zach Allison. It should have been a traveling, but they didn't call it. And off of Minneapolis, it'll stay with Bearcats.
Yeah, I went up and came back down. You're right, Scott. I thought they should have called a travel. It will be Ellsworth's ball.
Great block by Zach Allison.
I was just glad they didn't call a foul.
Yeah. Ball goes to Rohr. Rohr inside. And off of Glazer, and it'll go to Minneapolis.
With a great play.
Wow. Henry Yoxel just has done some fundamentally sound things. A very smart ball player. Grayson George will bring it down across the timeline. Back to Darrow. Back to Macy. Macy on the outside goes to Crossan. Back to Yoxel, back into Allison. And gets fouled. He'll go to the line. Nice job by Zach Allison as he gets the big guy up in the air, gets the foul.
Boy, he had to muscle him to clear some space. That cat is big. That Keener, what, 6'4"?
6'4",
at least 240.
Yeah, he's solid 6'4".
I think he was a pretty good offensive and defensive tackle in the fall, too.
Zach Allison rolls off the rim. He'll have one more to come.
5th team foul for the Bearcats.
Second shot coming. It's on its way, and it's off the mark as well, but Yoxel with the rebound. Back to Darrow. Back to Macy. Macy goes into Zach Allison, and ball's on the floor. Great job, Yoxel. Gets it to Darrow. Backward to Grayson. Woo!
Oh.
Wow. Nice try, and he walks with it.
Yep, that was a good call. Did you see Keener try to clear out with the forearm? Forearm shiver, Dale.
Yep.
So should be on was only the 16 foul, so it'll be Minneapolis ball underneath their own basket. 6:39 left to go in the ball game, 64-38. Darrow to inbounds, gets it to Yoxel. Back to Grayson, into Zach Allison. Zach puts it on the floor, up and good. Nice job, Zach Allison. They've been trying to get it to Zach down low, and they do get it to him, and Zach takes it right to him. Nice job.
Hook shot and use the glass.
Yes, that's good for Zach. He's got a big body to work against. That's a nice bucket there.
Need to get his confidence going with those.
Ball goes in the hands of Cunningham on the outside by Grayson George. Back to Keener. Keener or to Rohr. Rohr looks down low. Gonna be a foul, very close to a 5-second call. Cunningham for three, and he makes it. So, into Allison, back to Grayson George, up and good. Nice job, Grayson George. Great pass by Zach Allison. Knew he was too far underneath the basket, saw Grayson cutting. Ball goes back to Glazer. Glazer on the outside, guarded by Macy, top of the key. As he'll get the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Yoxel, gets it to Grayson George. Into Macy, and 15 White. You got to be kidding me. Called that on Grayson George.
Called that on Grayson George.
Wow, nice.
He
nice
almost
job.
came to a stop.
Yeah. Nice job by Grayson. He'll get a breather. Andrew Yoxel got that ball and just had a nice little quick pass. What a quick pass it was, and it got him freed. Casey Argenbright's going to get the steal right there. And then Glazer.
Casey will win that race every time.
Can't get it. Yox Crossan with the follow and the bucket. Nice job by Dylan Crossan as he gets the bucket, and he'll go to the line. Minneapolis with a 29-point lead, and he'll have the and one right here. 5:05 left to go. Foul was on Cunningham, and Glazer will check out as Shively checks in.
It's making it even 30. Scotty?
Sounds good to me. And it is. Nice job by Dylan Crossan. He's done a great job tonight. 71-41. Yeah. Cunningham with the ball. A nice hustle by Dylan Crossan. I'll tell you,
we're everywhere.
If these young guys are watching how hustling pays off, how they fly around the floor and how they hustle to the ball, it's amazing.
It's good help defense, and there's just nothing easy for Ellsworth here tonight. Early on, I thought this might be a game, but we just ran away with this.
It was until the middle of the third quarter, and we just out-hustled them. Shot from the free throw line, up and good by Ryan Brungart. His first action of the ball game, another senior for this Bearcat team.
Coach clears the bench. Zielkowski, Collins, and Johnson come in.
Alex Johnson, number 14, Alex Johnson. Number 23, Connor Collins, and number 42, Zielkowski. Rebound by Zielkowski back to Garrett Doherty. Zach Allison and Garrett Doherty stay on the floor. Garrett Doherty off the glass, no good. And rebounded by Johnson. Nice hustle by Alex Johnson. Into Zielkowski, up and, oh gosh.
Lost
so
the
close.
handle.
And out of control, goes up and good is Ryan Brungart as he has 4 quick points as he sees his first action here in the fourth quarter. Ball goes back to Connor Collins, And it'll be slid out of bounds off the Bearcats. It'll stay with the line. 71-45, 3:02 left to go in a running clock.
Foul on Black.
So Alex Johnson will go to the line to shoot a 1-on-1.
Brungard with the reach in. I guess I'd call that the hold.
7 seniors on this team for the Bearcats. So
chance here for Johnson to get in the scorebook. Zilakowski over the back, I believe.
I think they're going to get Zach. If that's the case, and that's 5. Yeah.
I got him with 4.
Oh, 4? Okay. 4th personal. Okay. At the line will be number 20, Logan Gose. And he makes the first one. We'll have another one coming here.
It's a running clock.
Yep. Second one is up and he makes them both.
I think it's the points to Ellsworth. Oh, yeah. What was I thinking?
Garrett Doherty. Guarded by Rankin. And Rankin called for the foul.
And Doherty will get a 1-on-1 here. They're just 1 foul away from the double bonus.
And Garrett makes the first one. So Shane Wilson, 5'7" junior, checks in for the Bearcats as Cunningham checks out. Second shot coming is up, and it's short, well short.
Just a little bit short.
Freeze will check back in for the Bearcats as with 57 seconds left. So 72-47. Great job by the Lions tonight, as the third quarter was the difference. And nearly stolen there by Minneapolis. And the foul by Connor Collins. And that will send number 3, Shane Wilson, to the line.
He'll have to hurry to get these 2 free throws in. 30
and
seconds
number
to go.
13 is going to have to hurry to get in. McGregor Jones, another junior, will check in, but he's not going to get in hardly any either. So
down to 20 seconds.
So not even going to get another one off. So that's too bad for McGregor Jones. So he makes the second one.
5 seconds.
So that's the ball game, as your Minneapolis Lions come away with a 72-48 victory over the Ellsworth Bearcats. Nice effort by the Lions tonight, especially in the third quarter, and that was the difference in the ball game, especially in the third quarter. Nice job by the Minneapolis Lions. We will have some stats here in just a second. We will take a quick break. You're listening to 910KNA.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8, your home of the Minneapolis Lions.
For Ellsworth, Tanner Orr with 2. Clint Glazer led the Ellsworth scorers with 16 points. Minneapolis did a heck of a good job on him in the second half, allowing him only 3 points in the second half. Logan Gose had 10. Brent Keener had 2. Levi Freeze, 7 points all in the first half. The big guy did not score in the second half. And that's kind of typical with the games that we've seen him play, Dale, over the years. He's just been, at times he'll score some points and then he'll go away and hide. And that's kind of what he did here tonight. Froze had 3. Cunningham off the bench had 3 late. Brungard had 4 late, and Wilson had 1. Scoring for Minneapolis, Argenbright with a big game, carried the ball club early on with 11 points in the first half, finished with 13. John Michael Jarrow had 8. Andrew Yoxel with 8 points. most of them in the third quarter when Minneapolis went on a 27-9 scoring spree, and we just pulled away from them then. Garrett Doherty had 7 points. Zach Allison had 2. Dylan Crossan down low in the paint had 13. Alex Johnson played but did not score, and leading all scorers tonight, Grayson George with 21.
5 3-pointers for Grayson.
Had him with 5.
Wow, nice job by Minneapolis tonight. Third quarter, though, Mike, what a quarter for the Lions. 27 points, just a great quarter, and we held them to 9. Up until that point, you know, they matched us 16 for 16 in the second. We had an 8-point lead at the half, but the third quarter, we outscored them in the third quarter, and it was a big one right there. So Coach Shoup, I think, is going to head up here and talk with us, but just a nice effort by the Lions tonight as they come away with the victory by a score of 72-48, and just a nice effort by the Lions tonight as they come away with the victory tonight. So we'll get Coach Shoup in here in just a second. I need the other one here. So, Coach Shoup, congratulations on a great victory, buddy.
Thanks, Scott.
Nice.
Thanks.
Well, let's go to the highlights first, and that's the defensive intensity of the third quarter, the pressure, the shots fell. Just a great third quarter of basketball. 27 points held them to 9. Just a nice third quarter basketball. Not sure what you had to say to them at the half, but whatever they came out. You know, and I felt like they cut it to within, we had it up to 11-point lead. They cut it to within 7, and then we went on a run.
Yeah.
And we hit some big buckets and got some transition. And I think when we finally hit it was when Garrett Doherty got the steal and the bucket, and then turnaround Kyler Macy immediately got another steal and a bucket. That seemed to be just the spark plug that kind of got us fired up in the third quarter.
Yeah, I thought the third quarter, and therein lies part of the problem, is we're talking about a quarter instead of a game. And I thought the third quarter we were consistent, and we stayed consistent throughout the rest of the game. And I thought in the first quarter we come out and we go up 9-0, we act like we've never been up by 9 points before. And you know, I told the guys, they come over, I said, look, it's great, but we're 3 minutes into the game, you got to keep playing. And I knew the way we were celebrating that. You know, we're not where we need to be, and sure enough, we get a dogfight the rest of the half. And when we got that run in the third, and they called a timeout, and I said, okay, we're back here again. What are we going to do about it? And this time the kids came out and just were businesslike and got things taken care of, and that's where we need to be. And yeah, I mean, isn't that nice when you got guys, you know, guys coming off the bench like Garrett and Kyler tonight, and they play like starters for you, and they bring such great defensive intensity. That allows us to keep that defensive energy up the whole time. So,
yeah, because you know, just like in the, you know, talking about the first 3 minutes of the ball game up 9, we kind of were talking the same thing, but we knew that Glazer can hit from about anywhere, and I think he had 5 points, just bang bang, and got them right back into that ball game. And then they had some buckets in the second quarter.
Yeah, it seems like it might sound like a lot of points. He had 13 in the first half, and they're 11 or 12 in the first half, and he's capable of going for 32 or 35 a night. And you know, I thought we knew where he was at all night long. There's one time before or right at the end of the first half that I think we turned him loose, and I don't think Andrew will probably do that again. But you know, we knew where he was at the whole game, and I just thought we just wore him down early in the game, and he looked gassed in the second half. He just didn't have much left.
We talked about that at halftime. Going down as coaches, we were talking about the fact that it wasn't a great performance in the first half, but we had 37 points. And I thought there was a point in the second quarter where they were dead tired and we didn't push our advantage there. And we talked about, you know, that's going to show itself about probably 2 or 3 minutes into that third quarter, and we have to take advantage of it this time. And that's where that consistent effort comes in. And that's the thing. We want to play this way. We know we can do it because we come to practice every day, and we just run like dogs for about 2.5 hours. And so we need to find out early if our opponents can do it. And I thought tonight we found out about middle of the third quarter, and that seemed to be the difference in the game. So
Yeah, nice, just a nice job. We also talked about, up here we were talking about Andrew Yoxel and Dylan Crossan. Andrew and Dylan, we both just noticed, and I'm not sure why I wasn't seeing this in the first 3 ball games, but it seemed like tonight I finally realized how much that they spent in the off season in conditioning and just bulking up a little bit and getting a little bit more size. They have a great chemistry between the two of them with a high-low that just makes it really nice, and they have great passes amongst each other, and they both have been a great job at finishing.
Yeah, well, we'd spend a lot of time on that. They've been doing that for about 3 years every day in practice, you know, and you look at them and you add Zach into the mix now, and Zach's starting to figure it out, but those are 3 big bodies. I mean, those are all strong kids and pretty heady kids, and Zach's got some things to work on offensively, but he's coming along pretty good for us, and you know, one of these days, poor Garrett Pounds is going to get healthy so he can add to that mix. And Garrett's done, until he got hurt, had been doing some really nice things in practice. So we're thinking, wow, we're 4 deep there at the post. And right now we're 3 deep, and hopefully we'll get to 4 deep here before the end of the year. So, and we'll need to, because there's a lot of good basketball teams left on our schedule. So,
well, Coach, I think your team kind of put them away. I think they finished, is there in the 3rd quarter, but your full court pressure was just too much, and they were actually still in the ball game, 12-14 down, and 2 quick steals and 3 quick buckets, and all of a sudden we got a 20-point lead in Ellsworth. They were done. And our guys, you know, we finished just on the defense right there. We just put them away, and I thought that was kind of his 3rd quarter, of course, was big on offense. Grayson was seeing the basket well. He had space. My gosh, they were giving him a little bit too much space, I thought, out there, and he'd just take another look, and it's just like a set shot for him. And they were going in. They never did go get him, I don't think.
No, they didn't. And I like the last couple games Grayson started to play a little more aggressively on offense, and when you do that, you take some of the thinking out of it a little bit, and he knows that he's going to get his, and when he doesn't, then that means somebody else is going to get theirs. So, you know, it's good team basketball right now.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't mention it, Casey Ardenbright. Casey had a great start to the ball game.
Yeah, he did.
Casey had 9 points in the 1st quarter, ended with 13. But just a great spark plug in that 1st quarter. Casey's a fun player to watch. They're all fun to watch. What am I saying?
I wish I kept the rebounds, but I thought we did a good job on the glass tonight, even with the big kid Freeze in there. Casey was out rebounding him down there, down low. I go, we aren't going to have any trouble rebounding tonight.
We're struggling a little bit at times rebounding out of our full court defense. I think we watch the rim a little bit too often, but the thing about it is, even when we do that, our kids are pretty aggressive after the ball, and Casey's one of those kids. He's just scrappy. He'll find a way.
And those kids you've got some great help defense. 2 passes, some guy might just barely get a hand on it. Next pass, there's another guy closing, and they think they've got a layup, and we close again. I just real impressed with we just stay after it, clear down to the very end. We play every play, and that I thought I'm pretty impressed with the way they play. I like them.
Thanks. Yeah, kids are doing a good job. I'm really pleased right now.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great victory tonight, buddy. It's exciting to see. Good luck on Friday night against Sacred Heart Knights, and we just appreciate all you're doing. So we will go ahead and finish it off here as the Minneapolis Lions come away with the victory tonight by a score of 72-48. And Dale will be back on the air on Friday, as Mike is going to be in Oklahoma, and I'm going to be my wife and I will be celebrating our 16th wedding anniversary. So I will not be on the air with you on Friday, but Dale will try his hardest and do his best. So for myself, Scott Osherman, Dale Leach, we will say goodnight from Minneapolis.